All right, well now let's see what we can do with how you play. That one's a little more difficult to do, in a short video, but I'll go over a couple of things because it's important that you start with good technique, and I think that's kind of what I will help you with here a little bit. So when you're starting off playing, you want to have good habits, and if you start with good habits, you're going to progress faster, you're going to play better, you're going to enjoy it more. So let's start with the first thing, which is your hand position. Before I started playing steel guitar, I played 5-string banjo for a lot of years as a young man, and on a 5-string, your hand's kind of like this. Your hand looks a little bit flat, and you're picking a lot with 3 fingers, so it's 3-finger rolls. On a steel guitar, your hand is more rounded like this. I did the Jeff Newman school a couple times, and that's the first thing he told everybody, especially me that came from, I brought my banjo with me, and we played and jammed and stuff, and he had a little bit of a time trying to get me to round my hand, and some of the other guys were the same way too. So you round it and you tilt it. Banjo is more like this is more round and tilted, and you do that so you can block some of the notes with the back part of your hand here. And I think it gives you better tone too. So also, if you're going to play a note on a steel guitar, you can play it like here, or you can play it back here. And that gives you a different tone. So it kind of where you play can change some things. Also, there's times, like on the beginning of this one here, let's see where I'm at. Okay, on these last notes right here, I'm hitting the 4th string a lot harder than I'm hitting the 6th string. If you hit them the same, it doesn't sound as good. That 6th string is too dominant in there. You want it just barely in the background. So there's going to be times when you're going to want to hit one string, you're hitting them 2 at the same time, one harder than the other. If something's not sounding right to you, it could be because you're hitting them both with the same amount of strength on the string. Also, a lot of guys, me included, I want to hit those strings kind of hard when I play them. I don't want to, lightly play with my hands. I want to hit them hard. I think Lloyd Green hits them real hard too. Also, your volume pedal. So you really only use the last 1/4 of the volume pedal. Unless you're changing strings or you're just sitting around, you don't want to make a noise. You're going to have that thing basically 3/4 of the way down. And then you're just getting rid of that harsh pick sound with the volume pedal. So it's like a... So what I'm doing is just, I'm pushing that, as I push my pedal down on that one, I'm pushing my volume pedal down. And then you're just coming up that little 4th, striking it to get rid of that sharpness of striking the string. And then you're pushing your volume pedal down all the way. So you don't want to play with it down all the way most of the time. It's just if you're striking something slow and pretty, you might want to raise it just that little 1/4 right as you strike the strings and push it right down. When you play fast, just leave it down. Just leave the volume pedal down. You don't need to go up and down. That would be ridiculous. So just leave it down. Also, when you play fast, on the banjo, everything fast is 3 fingers. Type of thing, roll, 3-finger rolls. On a steel guitar, you play with these 2 fingers, thumb and middle finger when you play fast. So it's kind of counterintuitive at first, and you want to use all 3 fingers, but it just doesn't sound as good. You can't block it as good. It's not as clean. So you're going to use 2 fingers, and I would say when you start learning to play fast, everybody wants to play fast right off the get-go, and it takes time, man. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but Let's say you're going to play something fast in G. It's easier when you're starting to play fast in one position, not jumping up and down the neck, where you complicate it even more than the instrument's already complicated enough with knee levers and pedals and volume pedal and everything. You start adding all this sliding around and trying to be in tune while you're playing, it gets tough. So if instead of doing something like let's see here. Yeah, something like that, I would go where you keep it just in one place like that, instead of trying to move all around up and down the neck. You can find some stuff and then go down to D. And just do that, and you don't have to do all that jumping around right at first anyway. You know, wait till you've been playing for a couple of years or a couple of months or something. At least everybody's different. As you play, you'll find out if this instrument is really, if you're meant to be okay at it, good at it, or great at it. You'll realize life is like that. Anything in life is like that. Life is an adventure and a discovery. So we all are born not knowing what we want to do, what we're going to be good at, how our lives are going to go. We discover that as we move along. It's like, you know, you get out of high school and right away they want you to pick a major for college, and nobody knows what they're good at. Half the kids today haven't worked at any jobs at all. They don't even know what the heck it means to work. So it's really difficult. I know it's made it hard for kids we used to work at my age. We were working at 14, maybe younger. So now, geez, most of them are playing sports till they're out of college, then they get their first job. It's ridiculous. So on the steel guitar, great players are born, not made. You know, like I know your mother probably told you you can be whatever you want to be, right? Well, she kind of lied to you. You can be what you were meant to be. And but you can be as good as you can be at anything. So you can be as good as you were meant to be on the steel guitar. That might be great, it might be okay, it might be good. But don't let that stop you from playing it if you enjoy it. You know what I mean? And if you like it, then who cares how good you are at it, as long as you're having fun. And realistically, if you can get good tone on your steel guitar, and it sounds really pretty when you come in and you play some little note that, just anything that is just right. The right notes at the right time are the most important thing. If you can just build a good sense of what's the right notes to play are, and you can play them in tune, it's going to be a beautiful instrument, emitting all kinds of emotion, and you're actually going to be better than some of these guys that play real fast and maybe out of tune and old strings and crappy tone. And you know what I mean? If you work on your tone and a little bit of your technique, you're going to be a good steel guitar player, no matter what your natural ability is. So that's kind of where I would go with that. So I do have a little piece of parting advice for you. So as you're starting out and you're playing, you know, you don't know where your playing's going to take you necessarily. A lot of guys like me, you know, you have a dream of playing for Nashville artists, and I was lucky enough to do that for maybe 4.5 years. I probably should have quit after 4. I need to apologize to a few people for those last 6 months. I was a pain in the ass, but I couldn't take the road. It was just, it wasn't for me. But so let's say you have dreams of playing professionally, and most guys that start this instrument probably have that, you know, at least as a goal at some point out there. If you have the knack for it, and you're a natural born steel guitar player, and you're just not happy doing anything but playing the steel guitar out in front of people, then I would say go for it. You know, you got the talent, you got the 1-2. If you're going to go out and if you want to do that so you can brag about it to your friends, I think you're going to have a pretty miserable experience because the road's not too much fun. And you know, away from family, friends, you miss weddings, you miss Christmas, you miss a lot of stuff. So yeah, it can be kind of difficult. But and a lot of guys have the knack. They're really good. They love playing, but they just can't stand the road. There's a lot of great players just in around little towns all over the country. And there's nothing wrong with doing that kind of thing. I think one of the most fun things you can do with your playing It's fun to play little bars in that, but you know, maybe not as much fun as what I'm about to tell you. I think the best thing is you get with your band or just some guys you like to play with and record. Record songs you either write yourselves. It may not be so good, but it's still fun to write them, or do covers of songs. It makes you makes you play a lot better and become a lot better player when you record, because you listen to it back, your friends listen to it back, see if you're in tune, out of tune, see if you're playing tastefully. Yeah, recording is it's a lot of fun. It's what I have a lot of fun doing. I record for friends of mine, put dobro and steel on and stuff, and yeah, that's how I enjoy it now. I don't really like going out and playing until 2 o'clock in the morning and packing up all my stuff and getting home at 3 or 3:30 and getting up and doing it again the next night. I think those days are probably over for me. But you know, your days like that may just be starting, and man, they're a lot of fun when you're a young guy. So enjoy the instrument, have fun with it, no matter where it takes you. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope this lesson or this video helped you out a little bit.